Have you ever thought about why God allows you to do everything you want to do? Good morning, guys and gals. It's a great day out here. It's a little froggy, a little wet, a little rainy, but the fish should... I know I said froggy, not foggy. Just quit laughing at me. Will you quit laughing at me? But hopefully the fish are going to bite today. It's going to clear up. It's going to be a beautiful spring day, 75 degrees. Let's look at our catch of the day. Our scriptures from 1 Corinthians. Corinthians, not Colossians, for all of y'all that corrected me the other day. 1 Corinthians 10:23. We're allowed to do all things, but not all things are good for us to do. That's right. God allows us to do all things. He allows us to get in all sorts of trouble. He allows us to make the silliest mistakes in the world. He allows us to sin, but not all things are good for us to do. So whatever He allows us to do, we got to use a little common sense in it. We got to live close to God and do things correctly. Ever wonder why you catch so many small bass and not too many big ones? Sure, there's more little ones than there are lunkers. And a lot of bass get beaten before they even have very many birthdays. Some of them are eaten by bigger bass. The main reason, however, is those older bass are a whole lot wiser. That's exactly right. The older bass are a whole lot wiser. After they've been caught, kissed, and released a time or two, they get pretty hard to fool. Especially if they're caught by a lousy kisser. They don't want to be caught again. We're much like those small bass during our high school and college years. We're out on our own just enough to have the chance to try anything. And some of us do. I'm not going to digress on that statement at all, but I've been there, done that. Like those small bass, our decisions can sometimes cost us very dearly. It's critical to live close to God during those years and then maintain that closeness throughout our lifetime. One of the most difficult things to do is for a young Christian to really live close to God during those younger ages. When you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 years old, it's just so easy to be pulled apart by the things in the world. And a lot of you out there listening to what I'm saying right now are saying, "You're right, Jimmy, I've done that." Well, let me tell you, I've been there too. I think one of the best things that happens in college, it gets you from 18 to 22, and if you can get through it alive, you're better off. But we do some of the silliest, dumbest stuff that we'd never do at 30 or 40 or 50 years old. So if you got kids that are teenagers, that are college age, just make sure that you've got them grounded where they can live as close to God as they possibly can. Because several of the times when I about really messed up when I was in high school and college, God would kind of nudge me a little bit right in here. Say, Jimmy, don't do that. Don't do that. The closer you live to God, the less foolish, stupid mistakes you're going to make. Trust me, I know that's a fact. Let's look at our tip for today. The tip is try a crawdad colored crankbait on chunk rock banks in Lake March. Chunk rock banks. This is absolutely one of the most fantastic patterns you can use in this time of the year on Lake Tenkiller, my home lake. Get in those big chunk rock banks. Chunk rocks are rocks like this big or this big, you know, not big boulders, not pea gravel, but chunk rock banks, and throw a crawdad colored crankbait. And because the crawfish are just coming out at the end of March and the bass are just really getting after them. Even if you've had a cold winter and the crawfish aren't out yet, they haven't seen any crawfish for a while, so when they see one, they're going to jump on it and bite it. So a crawfish colored crankbait, late March, one of the very best colors you can even think about. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. I love you.